Good afternoon. On behalf of Colonel Kevin Hamilton, Commander of the 531st Hospital Center, and the soldiers of 586 Field Hospital, welcome to our change of command ceremony. Today, Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Thompson will relinquish command of the 586 Field Hospital to Lieutenant Colonel Amber Birkle. At this time, we would like to extend a sincere welcome to our distinguished guests. Colonel Jamie Burke, the 44th Medical Brigade Commander. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson's wife, Lieutenant Colonel Amy Thompson, the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault Surgeon. Fellow commanders, Command Sergeants Major, soldiers, friends, and the families of the Eagle medics with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party, the invocation delivered by Chaplain Fortune Isaiah Asapoke, and remain standing for honors to the nation.
Please join me as I share the invocation. Almighty and eternal God, as we gather here this day to witness and partake of this change of command ceremony for the 586 Field Hospital, we express our gratitude for family, brotherly and sisterly love within our ranks, for health, life, and the countless blessings that abound. We are especially grateful for the successful deployment of Lieutenant Colonel Thompson and the reintegration with family. I ask your grace upon him and family as he transitions on to the next phase in his life's journey. Let your presence go before them to bring them peace and joy through the time of change. And now also bless Lieutenant Colonel Birkle and family as she assumes command here at 586 Field Hospital. Endow her with grace, wisdom, and understanding to provide excellent leadership and success in all missions. I pray with thanksgiving in your most holy and precious name. Amen.
Please be seated. The official party for today's ceremony consists of the commander of the 531st Hospital Center, Colonel Kevin Hamilton, the outgoing commander of the 586th Field Hospital, Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Thompson, and the incoming commander of the 586th Field Hospital, Lieutenant Colonel Amber Birkle. At this time, Sergeant Matthew Newton from the 586th Field Hospital will present a bouquet of red roses to Lieutenant Colonel Thompson's wife, Amy, as a farewell gift from the officers, non-commissioned officers, and soldiers of the 586th Field Hospital. The red roses in full bloom signify her devotion, dedication, and tireless efforts to the soldiers and families of the unit. At this time, Specialist Leica Pratt from the 586th Field Hospital will present a bouquet of yellow roses to Lieutenant Colonel Birkle's mother, Julie, as a welcome from the officers, non-commissioned officers, and soldiers of the 586th Field Hospital. The yellow rose's closed buds signify the beginning of her relationship with the unit. The commander of the 531st Hospital Center will now preside over this change of command ceremony. The change of command is a simple yet traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the colors. The colors represents not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing the commander's responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there also are the colors. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of command responsibility and authority from the old commander to the new, demonstrating to the soldiers of the unit that Lieutenant Colonel Thompson has passed the mantle of leadership to Lieutenant Colonel Birkle, and with this also passes the loyalty and unity of the soldiers. The ceremony begins as Sergeant First Class George K. Wood passes the colors to the 586th Field Hospital commander. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson then passes the colors to the 531st Hospital Center commander. Colonel Hamilton then passes the colors to the incoming 586th Field Hospital commander, Lieutenant Colonel Birkle, charging the new commander with the same responsibility and authority. Lieutenant Colonel Birkle passes the colors back to Sergeant First Class George K. Wood, thereby completing the ceremonial change of command. By authority of paragraph 2-5 Alpha, Army Regulation 600-20, the undersigned assumes command of the 586th Field Hospital, effective 26 May 2022. Signed, Amber M. Birkle, Lieutenant Colonel, Army Nurse Corps, commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 531st Hospital Center, Colonel Kevin Hamilton.
Thank you. What a great day and a glorious day to be here at Fort Campbell and to honor and preside over such an important event. A special welcome to all the Thompson and Birkle family and friends, distinguished guests, Colonel Burke, Colonel Myers, Colonel Dennis and his wife Krista, Colonel Friedline, Command Sergeant Major Retired Johnson, and those joining us on social media, family, friends, and soldiers of the 586th Field Hospital. Welcome to today's ceremony and thank you for attending this important occasion. Before I begin, I would like to thank the chaplain for such a good prayer. We need that in these days and times. Thank you. But also, I'd like you to give a round of applause to these soldiers in the formation. They look good, don't they? Today, one of the leading units in preserving life is saying goodbye to their commander, Joshua Thompson, and welcoming a new leader, Amber Birkle. When you look at the 586th Field Hospital's accomplishments over the last 2 years, it's apparent that Josh and his team have contributed vastly to Fort Campbell, the Army, and nation. Their skills played out in the past 2 years as COVID-19 dominated the world. In response to this persistent enemy, Lieutenant Colonel Thompson rapidly deployed and served as commander of the 51-member Urban Augmentation Medical Task Force 531 in direct support of the FEMA COVID-19 response in Wisconsin. He seamlessly integrated and coordinated with hospital leadership at civilian medical facilities to develop critical relationships thus helping streamline healthcare needs and helping identify critical shortages. The task force supported over 18,000 members of the Marshfield, Wisconsin community by integrating into their 200-bed fixed facility and providing much-needed relief for the overwhelmed staff. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson's unit would provide UAMTFs to a total of 5 other states with a fee. And oh, by the way, they were the first to do it, called on by our very own leadership. He then went on to masterfully lead his formation during a COVID-constrained training environment through one of the most successful Expert Field Medical Badge testing events. He served as the Expert Field Medical Badge Test Board Chairman, where he led the planning, preparation, and execution of the fall 2020 101st Airborne Division and Fort Campbell EFMB testing. His leadership and meticulous planning resulted in a 46.9% pass rate, the highest pass rate in the division's history. Let's give him a round of applause for that. You could see more of Josh's hands-on approach as he stewarded the healthcare profession by serving as the chair of the mentorship committee for the Army Regent of the American College of Healthcare Executives. He coached and mentored countless AMED officers, Army Medical Department officers, to become better healthcare leaders and assisted them in earning board certification in healthcare administration as fellows of the American College of Healthcare Executives. Josh has done an excellent job in ensuring every soldier was superbly trained, mentally and physically fit, and prepared to meet the demands of a deployment. The unit's success has a great deal to do with the experienced leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Thompson. He has high standards. He pushes his staff hard, but it is no more than what he knows the capable members of the 586 Field Hospital can do. I believe Josh's secret, though, is Amy Thompson. That's the secret sauce right there, who served as the division surgeon during Josh's command time. As I stated earlier, she is promotable. Lieutenant Colonel promotable Amy Thompson has been accepted into a fellowship into sports medicine, and the family has decided that Josh will hang up his boots and support Amy and the kids moving forward. So we congratulate you and your family on this milestone decision. We will be sorry to lose Team Thompson. As I said earlier, they burn bright. They all do. Josh has been an exceptional driving force in the 531st Hospital Center and a great colleague. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson, we will be sorry to see you go. But as one leader departs, another assumes responsibilities. The unit will be gaining a truly great leader in Amber Birkle, who is no stranger to Fort Campbell, as she served at Blanchfield Army Community Hospital earlier in her career. I've heard nothing but great things about her abilities. A 2006 Distinguished Military Graduate, Lieutenant Colonel Birkle has earned a bachelor, master's, doctorate, and is board certified in emergency nurse. She has respect and values her team. And I have no doubt she'll bring great ideas and enthusiasm to the 586. Her secret, although he's not here, is her husband Jason, who has spent 24 years in the Army himself, 12 as an aviation officer and the other 12 in the Reserve Civil Affairs. The soldiers of the 586 Field Hospital can feel confident that you're getting an outstanding new command team. Amber and Jason, there is no doubt that you are the right team at the right time to take this unit to the next level. Patrice and I wish you good luck as you take the reins of this great organization. We know you will succeed. Eagle Medics, you look great. I continue to be humbled by your achievements, continue to safeguard the incredible reputation you have forged and the high standards you have set here in the 586th. Achievement is our goal. To preserve life, Dragon Medics.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander of the 586 Field Hospital, Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Thompson.
Okay, Colonel Burke, Colonel Hamilton, Colonel Dennis, I didn't see if you made it here, Colonel Myers, Colonel Friedline, Lieutenant Colonel Leary, Lieutenant Colonel Gray, Major Bell, friends and family, fellow commanders, leaders, welcome. Special welcome to my mom, Darlene, my sister Kate, my brother-in-law, Tony, my niece Clark, who all made the trip down to visit us here today from Chicago and to celebrate with us. I'd also like to take a moment to welcome Colonel Birkle's parents, Mike and Julie, who were able to join us today. It's awesome when you can have family come and celebrate with you these milestone events. And I also like to say hello to Jason, Spencer, Elliot, and Tyler, who I believe are joining us online. So, gentlemen, hello. That's a lot of testosterone in there, Amber. And then thank you, Chaplain Asaboke, for blessing us. We can always use an extra blessing in our lives. First, Colonel Burke, thank you for entrusting me during these past 24 months with not just the field hospital, but also with the hospital center. It's an awesome responsibility. I didn't take it lightly, and I just want to say thank you for that. I appreciate it. Colonel Hamilton, Luzon 6, Kev Hammy, or as he calls himself, Ham Dog. Thanks for your wise counsel, mentorship, and the gift of your time. Many hours were spent sitting in your office, talking about all the problems and strategizing. When the Army broke the cash and created this new monstrosity called the hospital center and the field hospital, I came to you in advance, a year before we both took command, with one request. I said, please don't merge the two units. Let me keep them separate and let me lead. And you honored that, probably much to your own chagrin. I recognize that didn't come with its own share of friction points, but I'm eternally grateful. I'm also grateful to Miss Patrice. She is an inspiration to us all. I wish she could be here with us today, and we are praying for her, and we pray that she keeps up the good fight. We know that she's going to beat this. So as an Army family, the Thompsons have our 5 F's, which guide and prioritize our decisions as a family. Faith, family, friends, fitness, and finances. I'm going to talk about the first 3 briefly today. Faith is always first. First and foremost, I thank God. I thank God for blessing me with this opportunity. The Lord opens and closes doors, and for whatever reason, he saw fit to align the stars and open this one. And I'm forever grateful for it, and I thank him profusely. I can only hope that my small acts of obedience and faith have served as a light for those within my sphere of influence, and I pray that they yield good fruit for this organization for many years to come, especially for you, Amber. Next is my family. Team Thompson has 37 combined years of service to our nation and our great Army between us. We've been giving it everything since 2002. There's 8 deployments between us. Amy, the better of the Thompson officers, evidenced by your recent selection for full-bird colonel, I'm truly not worthy of your love and support. Somehow, in the midst of being the best damn division surgeon that the 101st has ever had, packing and then unpacking your bags for the Ukraine, going to the field for weeks on end, shuttling our kids back and forth to volleyball, track, swim, taekwondo, and every other activity under the sun, you still manage to find time to love and support me in my ego-boosting pursuit of more and more work responsibilities and loftier titles like commander. I love you so much, and I couldn't imagine riding this crazy train with anyone else by my side. I'm excited for this next chapter as you start your fellowship in sports medicine. I'm looking forward to becoming a Wichita Shockers fan. Get some courtside seats here. To Maddie, my favorite daughter. Robert, my favorite oldest son. And Andrew, my favorite youngest son. It never ceases to amaze me how awesome and resilient you guys are. Mom and Dad can be deployed, we can be busy with work, and you guys continue to excel academically and athletically. One thing I'll never forget about our time here at Fort Campbell is how we had fun as a family learning how to conquer the aerosol obstacle course together. It's pretty awesome and pretty cool that you guys can all climb the rope and do the Weaver. Mom and I couldn't have dominated at aerosol without your help. I'm beyond proud of what you guys have accomplished here at Fort Campbell. And today when I picked you up from school, there were some tears shed as you say goodbye to your friends. But you guys, you're so awesome, and we're gonna make lots of new friends at the next stop, okay? Number 3, friends. In 2 Kings 5, in the Bible, there's this guy, Naaman. Naaman is the commander of the Syrian army, and he has a pretty rough time. He loses many men and loses some battles, and even becomes afflicted with a severe case of leprosy. And through all these challenges, he continues to fear God. And during this time, he's surrounded by staff and subordinate commanders that give him sound advice. In his distress, he does what many commanders, he He did what many commanders fail to do. He listened to the wise counsel from those people around him, and he revered God throughout it, which made him successful and ultimately led to his being healed. Like Naaman, I too have feared God during this time and have been surrounded by great staff, great company and detachment command teams. You all offered wise and timely counsel, which made us successful, and I'm grateful for each of you. There are too many to name, but a few that I have to shout out are my senior enlisted advisors, Sergeant First Class Eugene Morgan, Master Sergeant Donald Lemon, and then when I went forward with the Hospital Center, Command Sergeant Major Jeff Ebert. My XOs, Major Charmaine Robinson and Major Pat Smith. And then last, Lieutenant Colonel Adam Campbell, who stepped up as the Rear D Commander for the field hospital when I deployed with the Hospital Center. These leaders, along with the rest of the staff, were instrumental to my success and provided sound advice. Thank you for your sage counsel. While I received sound advice from those on the team, I also had another group that supported me throughout my tenure in command that many of you don't know about. I have had and continue to have an unofficial board of directors, if you will, a group of 12 other men scattered across the country that are high-level business executives, church pastors, and community leaders. This group is called Leaders Made, and it meets weekly to study God's Word, apply it to the challenges and struggles that we each face day to day, and support and encourage each other as we strive to further develop our character and calling in order to improve the impact and influence that we have in our respective communities. These men were instrumental to my success as a battalion commander in the Army, as a disciple maker and a believer, and as a husband and a father. I'm honored to have 4 of the 12 join us here today: Josh, Brian, Aaron, and Louie. I'm grateful you guys made the trip to share this moment with me. Next are the soldiers in the unit. I took command as the unit returned home from New York City's Javits Center. The change of command was actually delayed because we had to wait for the unit and all the senior leaders to come out of quarantine. Only 1 month after I took command, we were tasked by the division, hey, you got to go run the expert field medical badge testing for Fort Campbell. So we did it. We picked up right away, we hopped in, we trained over 200 candidates, ended up with the highest EFMB pass rate in the Army and for Fort Campbell. Just 2 months later, we got the call that our nation needed us again to fight COVID. We deployed teams to Wisconsin, California, Texas, Arizona, the Navajo Nation, where we stepped into civilian hospitals, ran their ICUs and COVID wards for the next 7 months. No sooner than our last teams returned home from these different civilian facilities, we got tasked with standing up the nation's first vaccine teams. Man, it never stopped. So we formed 4 of the inaugural vaccine teams, and we sent them off to New Jersey, where we vaccinated over 500,000 Americans in support of the President's 100 million vaccines and 100 days initiative. We were so busy that the previous CG, Major General Brian Winsky, joked with me, saying he never, in his 30-plus year career, thought he would see the day that medical was the main effort and that the warfighters were in support. But there we were, leading the way, while 3 other battalions from the 101st were preparing to ship off on their own vaccine missions. So we went off, we did that, and then we returned home again from the war on COVID, triumphant, and proudly received our next set of orders to deploy for 9 months in support of Operation Spartan Shield. To the soldiers standing behind me today, you look great. Thank you for standing tall and representing the members of the field hospital that are forward deployed. The vast majority of the unit is currently in Kuwait, with some smaller elements in Jordan and Syria, where thus far in support of Operation Spartan Shield, we've seen more than 7,000 patients. We've been part of 56 life-saving medevac missions. We've moved 61 patients to Germany or CONUS facilities, and the unit will continue to support CENTCOM Commander and the missions happening there through September. It's truly amazing what the 586 has done and continues to do in support of our great nation. Achievement truly is our goal. Lieutenant Colonel Birkle, you're just what this unit needs at just the right time. Your clinical knowledge and years of expertise and experience within the MTF are perfect to get the programs like MSR up and running, where I was unsuccessful. Your relationships there will be instrumental, and I know you'll take the 586 to the next level. You have to play that nurse card pretty heavily, right? Because we got nurses in command everywhere right now. So don't be afraid to use it. I've enjoyed getting to know you, and I'd like to offer you this parting advice. In the book of Hebrews, Paul invites fellow believers to run with endurance the race that is set before them, and his message is really a metaphor for persevering. At times, this job can seem overwhelming. It can seem like you're running an endless sprint. Do not be fooled. Command is a marathon. Build yourself a network of family and friends. Build ships. Let them serve you. Lean on your staff and run the race with endurance and persevere. I'm excited to see how you build upon the foundation that has been established as you embark on your own rendezvous with destiny. I've taken up far too much of your precious time already, so I'll share one final quote from the great philosopher Dr. Seuss, who said, "Don't be sad it's over, be glad that it happened." I am certainly glad, and I will cherish these moments forever. Eagle Medics, Luzon, Dragon Medics, Air Assault. Eagle Medic 6, signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 586 Field Hospital, Lieutenant Colonel Amber Birkle.
Good afternoon. Colonel Burke, Colonel Hamilton, Colonel Myers, Colonel Friedline, Master Sergeant Wood, Fort Campbell team members, family, friends, and colleagues, it is a great honor to have you here with me today. First, I'd like to send a special shout out to my husband Jason and 3 sons, Spencer, Elliot, and Tyler, who wanted to be here but are still at JBLM finishing out their school year. Thank you for your unyielding love and support. And thank you, of course, to my dad and mom who were able to travel from Wisconsin to be here with me today. I'd also like to thank the many, many individuals, leaders, mentors, colleagues, soldiers, and civilians who have invested in me, trusted in me, and provided me with the opportunities and lessons that paved the path leading me here today. I'd like to recognize the Color Guard led by Sergeant First Class Kaywood, as well as our Commander of Troops, Major Smith, for the excellent formation before you. I would also like to take the time to thank Lieutenant Colonel Campbell, the 586 Rear Detachment Commander, who has upheld the integrity of the mission while juggling multiple requirements while Colonel Thompson was away. Default aggressive. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson, I'm in awe of what the 586 Field Hospital has accomplished under your leadership. I'd like to thank both you and Lieutenant Colonel Promotable Amy Thompson for inviting me onto your ships. Thank you for your mentorship, and thank you for your friendship. I wish you and your family many blessings as you pursue new adventures. And finally, Colonel Hamilton, thank you for your warm welcome to the 531st Hospital Center team. I feel quite privileged for the opportunity to serve the soldiers of the 586 Field Hospital. The 586 has such an inspiring legacy of service across the globe, including combat support and humanitarian missions dating back to the Pacific Theater in World War II and to more recently COVID missions across the United States. As you have heard, most of the Eagle Medic team is currently deployed, serving in Kuwait, and we eagerly await their return home. To the soldiers abroad, thank you for your service and sacrifices as you continue to exemplify the capabilities and professionalism of the 586th. Keep up the good work. To the leaders, soldiers, and families of the 586th, I am honored to be a part of your team, and I look forward to serving you. I have complete confidence in your training and abilities and look forward with anticipation as together we write the next chapter of the Eagle Medic legacy. To preserve life, achievement is our goal. Lieutenant Colonel Birkle, Eagle Medic 6, signing on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Screaming Eagles song and the Army song. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. We thank you for attending. There will be a reception line held for Lieutenant Colonel Birkle. There will also be a reception held in the 531st Hospital Center Classroom 131 to welcome the commander of the 586 Field Hospital and to farewell Lieutenant Colonel Thompson.